I'm recruiting more and more people to talk about the all-new.
Well, I was an easy recruit. I had to do it.
Sometimes, yeah, he didn't really have a choice. But, so this is my husband, Wyn. And Wyn actually has a 2016 Silverado. So I guess you can really compare what this new one has that yours doesn't, and some features that they've added that are pretty cool. So.
I mean, I haven't had a lot of time to be able to play with this one a lot. And right when it got here the other day, I jumped in it and spent 10 minutes messing around with it, and just haven't had a chance to really do all the things I want to with it. But quickly noticing it, I definitely instantly maybe switch out. No, you stay. This trailering mirror here, I really like. Mine is a small circular mirror right here. This one's a lot better. When I parked it the other day as soon as we got it, and noticed how much better this larger one is. I definitely like that. I really like the, I don't know if I need to start it up, I'm going to. But quickly, there is on the remote here, and on the dash here down low, there is a button to drop the tailgate, which is pretty nice. I mean, if I was going to back up to get a load of anything I wanted, that's pretty nice. I wouldn't have to get out. I could pull right up like that. People load up. Mavis, I can hit that automatically and get her to load up with it. That's pretty sweet. Definitely like that. Just hit the button either 2 times on the remote, like I said, or down here low. You just tap that. It's an easy down too, so there's a resistance mechanism in there to make it, which we all know that's had that for a long time. But I think the crucial part to it is that now all the hinged parts on the new ones is aluminum. So the tailgate, that being the tailgate, the doors, and the hood are all aluminum, making this even easier to pick up. And then of course, the mechanism that can drop it down slowly like that, making it lighter like that that was just using the remote and dropping that. This I really like. The 16s had it with a gap right here, but this one's a lot better. Now the whole foot will fit in there.
So you have like work boots, steel
yeah,
toe
anything,
boots,
anything. I mean, Jenny and I were just camping Saturday night, and I stepped up into mine to mess with the roof. We had a camper on top, and I wish that my insert was bigger because I kind of hurt the top of my foot jumping down. The other thing that I really like is the lights that are in here that are sitting right here, and they're angled, shining out that way. I think those are pretty sweet. I wish mine had that. A lot more tie downs. I like that. There's 3 in a stem here, 3 in a stem there, 2 on a stem there, and then the bottom one angles out this way. I think that's pretty beneficial.
And they have a capacity up to 500 pounds?
Yep.
And now this is standard, right? The bed liner?
Correct. Yep.
So
Yeah, and you'll notice too, people that have had older ones versus the new one, little things that I think are kind of cool is the bigger Chevy emblem in there is pretty sweet, I think. The roof is pretty cool. Every time I walk by and look at it now, I like it a lot. It's got kind of an aerodynamic look to it up there where the airflow comes down. It's just kind of mean looking. I like that. Aside the parking brake's pretty nice. The 18s on the Traverse and the Equinox is a mechanical parking brake, and it was always kind of confusing to people whether they were supposed to push it or pull it to release and set. Now you just push it to set it, push it to release it. So it's simple, stupid, you know. These are some things I haven't really gotten to play with just yet, but the trailer braking definitely looks to be a little more even user-friendly. It's going to be dialed into the computer system a little better. I think that's going to be nice. I haven't gotten to play with it yet, but I definitely like it. Got all your plugins here. It's just simple. I'll tell you another thing I really like is on the model here without the bucket seats, this is much sturdier, Sam. It just seems really well built. And it locks in place when you put it up here, and then you've got a pull tab here, kind of similar to the third row seats in like a Suburban or a Tahoe. To release that's there, so it locks up, and you can just hear it. It just sounds super sturdy. This is still there though, which you can lock right here with your key. So anything that you didn't want anyone to get into, the seat there will lock. Again, you pull this to release that, and drop that down.
Cup holders too, right?
Cup holders, 2 cup holders. This is a cool little handle here that makes it easier to pull up. These little compartments and stuff.
Show us some of the steering wheel stuff if you don't mind.
Yeah, so heated steering wheel. This is on an LT. Some of these dials is what they've changed. So to maneuver through your screen here, you can just roll and scroll. Push in on that to select. Same over here. Here's your to push up, down. That's when your cruise control's set. So say you set it at 70 and you're like, I want to go 75. You know, it's just like it was when you used to tap the plus. Now you're just tapping up on that. I haven't gotten to play much with the screen itself yet, but I've obviously had to take some courses online to learn about it. So pairing devices and switching back and forth between paired devices is much easier, which is pretty nice. I mean, Jenny and I were picking up a dog the other day and had to go back and forth between her phone and my phone, and that made me think about how this one's going to be a lot easier. You can just sit there and tap it and select, and it's much easier to go back and forth between those. So a lot of the technology stuff they've really tweaked and thought a lot about. Another thing that's nice in the back here, they've extended the back seat, so it's a full-on real back seat. I don't know how much I've already talked about, but it's a flat footbed down in there. I mean, the floorboard is flat. That's really nice. You've got rear vents now in the back. That's really nice. 2 USB ports, all those things. So cords aren't going back and forth from the front to the back like they are in mine. I like that. Another great thing is like on the Tahoes, Suburbans, Traverse, is now you've got the little buttons here on the handles. So when the key's on you, you just tap that and you've locked it. Now when you're saying, you know, for me, the key can just always stay in my pocket. And then when I'm ready to get in, I just tap the button, and then I sit in the car and I hit start. And then when I turn it off, I'm leaving, I tap it and walk away. So that's pretty convenient, I think. Obviously this is a Z71, so you get the off-road package, the off-road suspension, a reinforced breastplate, chest plate underneath there, down underneath there. It's got a engine braking system to it. There's a button on there. Mine has that, so I'm really familiar with that. At my hunting club, I've got a really steep incline, and it's almost a blind, it's not almost, it is a blind pitch. So as I come up and pitch down like that, I mean, I don't even know if a car's coming the other way. But as soon as I come up, I just tap that and the truck just crawls down. That's on this. That's pretty nice. I love that. Other than that, it's mostly, it's playing with the computers and stuff that I've got to get more familiar with. But the aesthetics are pretty mean. I love the
subjective
vents.
question for you.
Yeah.
Do you like this styling better than yours?
Yeah, I've always liked the Silverado's look. I'm partial to it before I married Jenny, so that's all I've ever driven, or General Motors vehicles. So I love them. I think they're the best looking. And this is, every time I look at it, I can see the similarities in it. When you start to look at it here, you can see kind of an aerodynamic look. And it almost looks like it's kind of going to early 2000s to me a little bit at times. But then when I look at it from the side, this line still keeps that kind of traditional square look of Chevrolet and the Silverado to me. And so I really think they've morphed it all together and made it pretty sweet. The daytime running lights are really cool looking. It's this light here. I just, I like it if it looks mean, and I think it does. So I think
It has a pretty mean stance.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
it does, and you can tell what I really like too. They've gone to a rounded fender wells, back to that, and that's going to give that ability to put like a wider all-terrain tire on, which is what I've done on mine. I put just as wide as I could go to where when I have it cranked all the way over, it does rub slightly, but it's now to the point where that's kind of worn down and it doesn't do that anymore. But that now won't happen. That's nice. But that was the concept of doing this. If you notice too, for the longest time, they always, for fuel efficiency, they always had the front end kind of slightly angled down, but almost to a point where it looked almost a little funny to people and to me. And so I always did a leveling kit on the front end to raise the front end. I didn't do a crazy lift or anything. I would just raise the front end, which is what I've done to my truck, to where it's equal to the back end. But now they've kept it like that. And now General Motors has created a lift kit that is very reasonable, and it can give it a little bit meaner stance is probably what I'll end up doing with my new one when I get one.
And as a Silverado owner, which one has caught your eye?
The Trail Boss is definitely what my lifestyle kind
custom
of demands.
Trail Boss or LT Trail Boss?
Well,
Cutting.
yeah. I mean, I'm gonna have to. I'm excited about it because now I'm gonna get to really play around and see which ones I like the most. But that's probably what I'm leaning towards. I'm going to go with leather because I'm dirty all the time and it's easier for me to clean up. So I'm just going to kind of play with it. I mean, this is the first one. I'm just excited about being able to figure out which one I want.